Hey guys, this is Peloponnesian or Noah from Not Really Any Clan, and today I'm sorry that I haven't exactly uploaded a lot of videos lately. Well, rather, I have uploaded two in I think the past week. It's just their old content that I recorded a while ago, so forgive me about that. But the thing is, today I want to do a life story, or multiple stories compiled into one thing. So, I'll do the topic of broken bones because I've had my fair share of those experiences. They're never exactly fun, but they're always nice to tell people about. So, I broke my first bone, I believe, the day before Easter when I was, I think 3 or 4. I think 3 actually because I wasn't in preschool. So, it's like 2002, 2001. It was in there. So, I was on the couch and we had people over, and when I was a little kid, I liked to show off. I still like to show off, but not as much as I did then. It's always enjoyable to me anyways, but the thing that happened was I jumped off the couch and I landed straight on, I forgot what it was. I think it might have been like a dumbbell because I think my sister was messing around with it earlier that day. So my wrist landed directly on it, and my bone, both of my bones in my lower left forearm, so my radius and my ulna, just snapped. I was really young, so they were easy to break. But the thing that ended up happening was we didn't even know they were broken until my mom decided to take me to the doctor, which was like a week later. And I was like running down the hall, I was clapping, I was messing around. And then the lady whispered to my mom. My mom told me this only recently, but she actually, they both agreed that I probably didn't have a broken bone. And sure enough, I did. I actually had two. My ulna, which is the bone on that's on the side with your pinky, it was broken more severely. They weren't even that bad anyways because my bones were still young and growing, so it was much easier for them to heal. But I ended up having to wear a cast for I believe 3 or 4 weeks, and it was a glow in the dark cast, and I got a shit ton of signatures all over it. So then the next bone breakage I got was I ended up playing kickball in third grade. So I was, I think, first baseman or something. And I was trying to catch the ball before somebody got to it, or before somebody got to first base. So I ran backwards to get the ball, and when I was running in, I dove to hit the ball to the plate. It's like when people dive in baseball, like they dolphin dive onto the base. But the guy kicked my left ring finger and pinky. So after that, I go to the nurse's office. I can't move them or anything. They're swollen to like who knows what. I mean, they were the size of like frickin' sausages, like already, but they were huge. So, and they were all red and puffy. So they ended up just making me a splint out of tongue depressors and saying just go to the doctor, see how, or if it doesn't get better by the end of the school day, because we had PE pretty early in third grade. So they pretty much just said if it doesn't feel any better by the end of the day, just go to the doctors. So we do. I get an x-ray. Sure enough, a break on my pinky right on the growth plate, and a break in my ring finger on the second joint. So that was another fun experience. I ended up having to wear a boxer's cast, so it's where two fingers are isolated, but it doesn't go past the bottom of your hand. I had to wear that for 3 or 4 weeks. It was I think just flat green. Yeah, it was just plain green. So then the year after that, it was my first time skiing. Not exact my first legit time skiing, because my dad took me skiing when I was 3 or 4. So much crap happened when I was 3 or 4, but I ended up going skiing, and I really hated it. So my dad kind of swore never again, and I convinced him to let me go when I was in fourth grade. I had a lot of fun, and I'm actually not bad now. Um, but the thing that ended up happening is there were pommel lifts up on one of the shorter hills that my dad and I were messing around on. So a pommel lift is where it's a bar that has more poles coming down from them with little circular seats on them, kind of like a little stool with like a giant bar going through the middle of it. So you would pop a squat down on those and hold on. So then you would have your skis on the ground and just kind of get carried up. Um, so I mean, they were tricky to learn how to use properly, but once you knew how to use them, they weren't that bad. So I had just gotten off of it, and I was using really short skis because to learn you have to use the shortest skis possible. Because I don't know why who came up with that. Probably just because they're kind of easier to control, and if you fall, you're not gonna like be having to get like 2 feet off the ground to get up. But so I had no control, and I was trying to do the snow plow, which is where you make your feet look like a pizza, and it makes more resistance because it's like a wedge trying to go through the snow. And the thing that ended up happening was I hit a guy. Yes, I shit you not. I hit a guy that was on a pommel lift. Like I had started falling maybe 10 feet in front of him, but I was going really fast. So my head, I took a ski straight between not like exactly between my eyes, but like the lower middle of my forehead. All right? So I had a ski right there. I mean, I was passed out for maybe a minute or so. And then I look and I take off my glove, and my pinky is swollen and bloody. It's not because the blood came from the break, but it's because it ripped up my fingernail. So I ended up having to get just a splint for that because it was only one bone. All right. And then so next year skiing, I'm getting off the lift, and the thing that happens. All right, so next year I was in 4th grade. No, 5th grade, 5th grade. Um I was skiing, and I was getting off the lift this time, and my ski got caught on my dad's, which was he was on the lift right next to me, and I ended up tripping. I catch myself on my right arm, and it twists around about twice, and you hear a really really loud snap. So they take me over to the ski patrol place, and you can see my bone is like, or like my arm is like all limp and stuff. So I ended up going to the doctor. Sure enough, I broke my radius completely in half right at the weakest point. I ended up wearing a cast on that. It was orange with purple stripes. I lost a bet with my friend the day before I got my cast, so he had to make me. So I had to get those colors on my cast. I had a cast from the middle of my hand all the way up to my armpit for 6 weeks because I had to completely immobilize that joint. So the next bone break I got, which is my most recent one, well, partially my most recent one because I'm not so for sure about my thumb. But the thing that ended up happening was on my thumb, not on my thumb. What am I thinking? Um, all right, there was a quarter on the ground at school. My friend bent down right before me, and when he was coming up to show everybody that he got the quarter, he hit the top of his skull right on the middle of my nose. And that was one of the worst pains I had felt in my life. And you could feel I had a little crack going straight diagonally down the middle. And then, I'm not so for sure if this is a break or what exactly happened, but it was the day before the end of the world, so December 20th, 2012. I remember it because it was one of my friend's birthdays. But I'm getting up I'm getting up off of the ground in PE because we were doing push-ups, and I'm a large guy. I mean, I'm like 6'2" and I weigh like 220, 230-ish. I'm kind of overweight. But the thing that ended up happening was I'm pushing off with the tips of my fingers and my thumb gets bent so far that at the joint, like right where it meets the meat in your hand, it slipped and it went all the way down to my wrist. And my skin was stretched out like crazy and it was bruised. I mean, I couldn't fap for like a week. It was insane. So that was, and I we got x-rays on it, and it had little bitty hairline fractures. Nothing to be worried about, but just enough that I had to wear a ace bandage around it for like a week. So this has been Peloponnesian or Noah from Not Really Any Clan, sharing my bone breaking / dislocation stories. I'll see you guys later.